Subscribe for more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure collectors reviews. Don't forget about your chance to win this Mattel's DC Multiversus Shazam action figure. All you have to do is share one of my videos. It does not matter which video you share. And leave a comment on the video that you have shared saying Shazam I shared. Also over there on my Patreon, I'm doing another giveaway for a My Hero Academia McFarlane Toys All Might. All you have to do is make a small donation to this channel of $3 to my second tier. And I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. The contest for both the Shazam and All Might ends June the 30th, and the winner will be announced on July the 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and shipping is in the United States only as well. Good luck to you all. Welcome to my channel. This is Serge bringing you another action figure collector's review on Target exclusives Neca's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo vs. Shredder action figure 2-pack. And as you can tell, you get Leonardo and you get the Shredder staring at you through the window. You get a ton of extra accessories. You get okay illustrated image of Leonardo, and you get an okay illustrated image of the Shredder over there, and you also get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right in the middle. Over here on this side of the box, you get a nice product shot of the Shredder, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right up there at the top. Over here on this side of the box, you get a nice product shot of Leonardo, and you get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right up there at the top as well. Over here on the back of the box, you get a nice product shot of Leonardo versus the Shredder. You get other figures from this wave, and you also get a little bio of the Turtles if you want to go ahead and read it. And up here at the top of the box, you get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and down here, nothing but the barcode. Let's get to it and open these bad boys up. Okay, let's take a good look at their accessories, and we're going to start things off with Leonardo, and to kick everything off, we're going to be looking at his communicator, and I like it a lot. It's very accurate from what I can remember from the show, and I do like it a lot. I love the design, how it's in that shell, and we'll look at the color right quick, and I like the color choice that they used with this. I think it's very accurate to the show. I like that brown that we're seeing and that green that goes over the brown. It came out fairly clean, but except around the outline of it, it's a little bit fuzzy, but that's just a little minor nitpick for the most part. As little as this thing is, it's got pretty good paint on it, and I do have a little bit of smudging right there with green paint, but I like that this is sculpted in there, and it's got sculpted line work, and this seam right through here is where the communicator would bust open and you could talk to your allies right there. And right there, here it would be the antenna where they would pop up, so that's very nice, and I like that it's that kind of like a gray color right there. And looking at the back of the communicator, and I like it a lot. It's like staring at the front of a shell, so that's very impressive. I do like that a lot, and all this is sculpted line work in there, and I do have a little bit of green seeping through there, but that's just a little minor nitpick. And we'll go ahead and take a look at Leonardo's gripping hands right here, and they look very, very good. I'm very impressed with what Neca can do with these hands. Now all these hands are interchangeable, and these hands have the side to side joint, as you can tell right there. They go side to side, and I like that a lot, especially for certain poses with his swords. So that's very impressive. I love it. And right here you get a little bit of shading down there at the hinge, so that's very nice. I like that they included that in there. We'll go ahead and take a look at his other hands, his wide open hands. You could use these as pizza holding hands or high fiving, or whichever, wherever you prefer. And I do like these hands a lot.
and you get to all this sculpted line work and detailing in there. So I'm very impressed with that. And you do get that shading on both of them, and it looks very good. You don't get no fingernails. I mean, you get kind of like a shape of a fingernail, but not really. They're not there, and I got a little bit of black smudging through there, so that's a little bit disappointing. And there goes the can of ooze, so that's a little bit disappointing. But he could be dirty. You just gotta use your imagination. We'll go ahead and set that to the side. We'll go ahead and look at his swords, his katanas, as they're well known for, and I like them a lot. I like how this is a very animated color for like a silver, so that pleases me a lot. Mine's got a little bit of a smudge right there from the tape, where the tape was on it. I guess where it sat in the box for so long, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to use my imagination and say it was a little bit rusted. So, that's not too big, of a complaint of mine, but I do like how the handle looks. It looks very good, looks very accurate to the show. We'll flip it over there on the other side. You do get these molded seams right there with the circles. So that's a little bit disappointing, but I'll try to have them where where this sword is facing out that way if I can get my words to come out right. But I do like that a lot. We'll go ahead and set this one to the side, and it's more or less the same with this one. You get them molded little circles in there. That's a little bit disappointing. That's my biggest complaint about that. And this stain is also on this, so that's a little bit disappointing. I mean, I would like for him to have brand new blades, but instead I've got pretend like they have rust on them. So that's a little bit bothersome, but it's not too bad. It's not like going to keep me from buying these figures. And we'll go ahead and look at the communicator for Shredder, and you get a great image of Krang right there. And this is all a sticker, and it will peel off, so be careful with that. Make sure you keep that away from any moisture or anything like that. If you keep it in storage, I recommend a plastic baggie and probably in a toad or something. But anyway, that's enough of that. I like the purple that you see on the communicator. I think it looks very good. I like the yellow and the red buttons, and I think this looks accurate to the show as well. But it's like I said before, it's been a long time since I've seen the show, so I don't really remember all that well. But I do like it a lot. And I like that animated silver color that they used yet again, like they did around the blades. So that's very nice. And right here, you get all this cell shading through here on the back. You get a little knob back there and some sculpted detail and line work right through there. And I just think the color palette that they chose flows it very well. And we'll go ahead and look at Shredder's hands. And these are more or less like a gesturing hand. You know, I mean, it's more like a stylized posing hand. So I like it a lot because you can have them pointing at something or tell them to attack, which is awesome. Now I do have a nitpick. These fingers came out, looking pretty good, but over here on this hand, they kind of look short and chubby, like they were like cut off or something. So that's a little bit displeasing. And if you can't tell, there's a little bit of the size comparison between the fingers. It's like this side was, almost spot on, and where this one looked like, he was working with a bandsaw one day and cut his fingers off. So that's a little bit displeasing, but it's not too bad. I mean, he does have fingernails on the ends of them. I do like the blades that you see, and I like the cell shading that you see around the blades, and I like that you see the straps on the inside of the hands, and the wrinkling inside the hands. It looks very good. Minus those fingers, I think that was really good. And here's Shredder's gripping hands, and look at that. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and just show this again. Like, those fingers does not look like those at all. So that's, I don't know, that's probably my biggest gripe with that. But you get the nails right there. You don't get the strap on the inside, but you're going to be holding. He's going to be holding something in these hands anyway, so you don't really need that strap right there. And you do get these blades as well. And I like the if I can say my words right, cell shading in between there. It looks very good. But that was a good look at his gripping hands. We'll go ahead and take a look at his fisted hands. Boom, boom. And I would hate to play Bloody Knuckles with this guy because you would be an instant loser. But I do like these hands a lot. They look like tiny little hands, so I'm very impressed with that. You get a thumbnail right there, and you get some wrinkling up through here, and the colors came out very good. I like it a lot, and I'm just very pleased with them all in all. And how this sword right here looks very good. I don't really have no complaints with that. It looks just like the one we got with the Shredder and Krang 2 pack, so that's very nice. I do like that a lot. But you only get like two of them molded little circles in there. I wish they would have done the same thing with Leonardo's blade, but you gotta take the good with the bad. I like the cell shading that you see wrapped around the handle like it's been wrapped in some kind of wrap, so that does look good. And right underneath the blade right there, it looks very good. I like the dull yellow that they chose as well. I think that looks very good. And last but not least, take a look at this can of ooze. And I like it a lot. It does have that shading as well, that two-tone shading, so that doesn't bother me at all. Now, I like all this sculpted detailing in through here, and the paint and the cell shading as well, so it's very nice. I'm very impressed with that. You get a lot of sculpted detail for something so small. You get little circles and stuff sculpted in up there for the canister's top, and then there's take a look at the bottom. All in all, it's a very good look at them accessories. You got the 30 plus year rivalry has came to a boiling point, and we got hero versus villain, turtle versus human, leader of the Ninja Turtles versus leader of the Foot Soldiers, good versus evil. The Shredder and Leonardo getting ready to throw down onto your screen. And it's no secret that I'm a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles, and I'm also a huge fan of Neca. And let's see if they can continue to impress me in just a second. Let's take a good look at Leonardo's articulation. First of all, his head can look up that far, which is a pretty decent amount. It does hit the back of that shell. He can look down a pretty decent amount, not too bad. And you do get articulation back here as his bandana. It spins around in a full 360. So I do like that a lot. And you do get a confused dog going on to that side. And you also get it going on to that side. You do get the Exorcist right here. And he can throw almost the perfect pitch, but it does hit the shell right here, allowing him only to throw them curveballs right there. And his arm can go all the way down to his side, so that's very impressive. His arm can extend out that far, so that's very nice. I do like that. He does have a bicep swivel. He's got a single jointed elbow that bends in just about as far as you need it to. I wish you could go a little bit further inward. And you do get a swivel right there at his elbow. And you get a swivel and this hinge right here for this hand. It goes side to side, as I showed you earlier. And you do get torso articulation, as you can tell. It's up in through here, but you can barely even use it. It's more like a wiggle or a wobble, so that's a little bit disappointing that you can't use that, but I understand with all that shell, so I'm not going to complain because of the sculpting. But his legs can split out that far, so that's very impressive. You do get him kicking forward that far. I wish we could go a little bit further because he is a ninja, but the shell does get in the way of that. And he can kick that far back, and like I said, the shell does get in the way of his articulation. You do get a thigh cut, and you get a single jointed knee that bends in only that far, and it bends back that far. And his ankle does hinge down, but not a whole lot right there, and it does hinge up that far, and you do get a little bit of an ankle rocker. And that was a good look at Leonardo's articulation. To everybody who hasn't watched my Shredder vs. Krang Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle review, I'll be going ahead and doing the Shredder's articulation. His head can't really look up at all because it does hit the back of that helmet, and he can look all the way down to his toesies, so that's very impressive right there. You do get a good amount of that confused dog going on to that side, and you do get some more going on to this side, and his head does the 360, which is the Exorcist, and his cape keeps wanting to get in his face, and that is the most frustrating about this Shredder right here. My other Shredders that I've had hasn't done that one. This is the only one that's done it, but his arm can extend that far to his side, and you can actually get his arm going up that far up, and this far back. So this doesn't really get that much in the way of the articulation. It just stops it from spinning around, having him throw that perfect pitch. Anyway, his arm can extend out that far to the side. You do get double jointed elbows that bend in all the way, almost all the way. You do get a bicep swivel, and you do get a swivel and a hinge right here at his wrist. So that's pretty good articulation. You don't get no torso articulation, but you do get a waist twist right here, so that's very nice. I do like that a lot. He's got splits that can split out all the way, so that's very impressive. I do like that a lot. And his leg can kick forward that far, and this does get on the way of the articulation, but not that bad. So that's not that bad. And he can kick backwards quite a bit. He does have a thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees that bend in almost all the way, and kicking back, he can kick back that far. So that's, pretty nice. He does have toe articulation down here, and his ankle can move. I don't know if it's because it's so stiff, but the other shredder I had seems like it could bend back a little bit further, but that's as far back as I can get it. He can only go that far forward because it hits this rubber piece, which is understandable, and he does have, well, slight ankle pivot. You ain't getting much out of it. And that was a good look at Shredder's articulation. Let's take a look at Leonardo's sculpt and detailing. First of all, we'll go ahead and look at his head. Now, his head looks very familiar because we see a lot with all the Ninja Turtles. They look a lot alike, but except their facial expressions are just a little bit different. So I'm okay with that because they're brothers, and brothers should look alike, right? But anyway, I like the way his eyes came out. They came out nice and clean. The blue in the bandana came out nice and like a very bright blue. I do like that a lot. Now you do get black line work in between his teeth, so that looks good. I do like that a lot. And you do get this like fading into the darker tones back here for the blue and also for the green. So I do like that a lot, that shading. I'm very impressed with that. I do like the cell shade right through there at the back of the bandana. And I like the knot back here at the back of the bandana where it's tied up. I do like that a lot. And there's a peg back here, and it covers the peg very well. So I'm very impressed with that. And you do get more cell shading in the back of the bandana right there, and more line work right there. Looks very good. I'm very impressed. This looks like Leonardo, so no complaints. Now right here with my shell, he does have a lot pressed line right through here, and I don't know if that's where they sealed him in the box, but that's a little bit bothersome to me. But I can use my imagination and say that Shredder used his blade and cut him across his chest, so mine's unique in that way. So he's got a little bit of battle damage. I wish it would have been Raphael because he's more of the hothead than Leonardo is, but I'm not going to complain that bad about it. I'm just going to use my imagination. His L came out very clean right here on his belt, and his buckle came out very nice. But right here, it got a little bit, it bled through a little bit on that brown, so that was a little bit displeasing. I mean, I can't play that off like it's battle damage or anything like that, so that's very disappointing. But I do like the cell shading that continue to see on the belt right there. It looks very good, and his belt looks amazing. I do like that a lot. Flipping over to the back of the figure. Now these swords do not like to go in here very well. It's kind of a fight, more so with this one than it is with that back one. But they slide in right there, and they'll go all the way down. But I just think it looks better if it's over his shoulder like that. It just looks more natural to where he can grab it very easy and fast. I'm going to try to pry this thing out of here. Sometimes it likes to get stuck, but the shell is very impressive on all these figures. I like the line work and stuff. It looks like a real turtle shell, especially from the ones from the cartoon anyway. And I do like it a lot. That's one of my favorite parts about this figure. Also, you do get more of that line work in the shoulders, and his muscle definition on his arms look very good, and you still have more of that shading going on down through here, so that's very impressive. I do like Neca's work with that. Now, with his hips, you do get this right here, and that's a little bit bothersome. I wish Neca could make a way to where you can only move one leg at a time instead of moving them both, because whenever you're posing them around, you're trying to do certain kind of poses, that does get a little bit annoying whenever you're having to go back and fix that leg. But that's just a minor nitpick. I mean, every figure's going to have its flaws, and don't look at that. That's Leonardo's favorite place, or his secret place. But anyway, looking at that, that's how it works in through there. You do get that shading up there. You get pins right there on the inside of the knees. But the shading looks very, very good. And if you like seeing up underneath the turtle shells, give this video a thumbs up, and it looks very good. I'm very impressed with what Neca can do here. And that was a good look at Leonardo's sculpt and detailing. Go ahead and look at Shredder's sculpt and detailing. And right here, I do have a complaint about this one. Right off the get-go, is that he has flesh tone on the back of his helmet. So that's a little bit displeasing. I do not like that at all. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly glance over Shredder's sculpt and detailing, because I've already went over it one other time, and it was my Shredder versus Krang 2-pack that I got. But it looks good. I like it a lot. I have nothing but good things to say about it. But this one just has a little bit of minor flaws with it, with the cape keeping going in his face. That right there on his back. But for the most part, the paint ups came out clean on the other two that I had. And this one is pretty much the same, except I got some white, or some that silvery looking color in his joints right there, so that's a little bit bothersome. And he does have that cell shading. I do like that a lot. I'm very impressed with that. And you get to see his abs and stuff. So that looks very good. I do like that a lot. And right here, it looks very good. In the back, he's got a very muscular back right there. Muscular legs. I like the wrap around his feet. Looks very good. And the spikes came out looking very good. There's not too much to complain about except for those two spots. Everything else looks pretty good with all the paint. Doesn't look dirty. Doesn't look like it's been smudged or anything like that. And that was a good look at Shredder's sculpt and detailing. So Leonardo and Shredder scales up against a couple more NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the animated series. Over there on their left, we have Raphael, and over there on their right, we have Donatello. Now, this absolutely tickles my fancy, because I enjoy having all these turtles next to one another, and it's like bringing the childhood toys that we should have got back then, the representation of the Ninja Turtles, to life, and I really do enjoy this a lot. Leonardo and the Shredder scales up against a couple more NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures. Over there on their left, we have Bebop, and over there on their right, we have Rocksteady. And I gotta applaud NECA here. They just do amazing work. Keeps me wanting to buy more and more and more. I'm so excited for the next wave of these figures to come out. Still with NECA, and we're still with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. Over there on their left, we have a foot soldier, and over there on the right, we have the Krang. Here's how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated line with the Leonardo and the Shredder scales up against a couple more NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the GameStop exclusive 1990s movie line. Over there on the left, we have a foot soldier, and over there on their right, we have the Shredder. How NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles scales up against a couple of the original Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Over there on the left, we have Leonardo, and over there on the right, we have the Shredder. The NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series Leonardo and the Shredder scales up against a couple of Hasbro action figures. Over there from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line, we have the Walgreens exclusive Dragon Shield Black Power Ranger over there on their left, and over there on their right from Marvel Legends, we have the Superior Octopus. My final thoughts on these figures. I've already reviewed these figures before, technically. just not these two figures. The articulation's the same on all the Ninja Turtle action figures. They just repackage them with different bandana colors, different weapons, and a few different accessories. Now, I do like that we get these, and I like that it's recycled molds because they're all pretty much the same anyway. With that Shredder, I've already reviewed another Shredder just like him. He just had better paint apps, and in my opinion, was a little bit better of a Shredder because he didn't have this thing poking up in his face every 2 seconds every time I try to move him. Now, it's very frustrating with that Shredder, but out of the other two Shredders that I own, because I own three of them, this one was the worst one out of all of them. So 2 out of 3 isn't that bad. But, odds are if you get the bad Shredder out of the three, then you're still going to like your Shredder because it's just minor paint imperfections. But let me know what you think of the figures. Let me know what you think of the review in the comments below. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge.
If you want more action figure collectors reviews, then feel the urge to subscribe to Surge. And if you've liked what you've seen, then click that big thumbs up button. If you want to get notified of my latest videos whenever they drop, click that notification bell. If you want to see this channel grow, share with a friend. Speaking of friends, you can friend me over there on Facebook. Links to that will be in the description below. You can also follow me along on Twitter. Links to that will be in the description below.
I heard you guys were looking for a fourth member. Do you pizza? Yeah. Do you say cowabunga? Cowabunga! Ah, crap!